Hello, this is Purge, bringing you guys a first-person gameplay commentary, except I'm doing a replay cast. I played this game, I think, yesterday. 2 days ago, maybe? I think it was 2 days ago. I played this game 2 days ago on off of stream, so that's why I'm doing a replay cast. My friend just got a HUD. Woot. Which one? This game I played in Ursa. I was actually playing with a couple StarCraft people, so Grey Torp and Mr. Bitter were in the game with us. And then Blitz and our friend Kyle, so let's go over and pick my hero in a second. I will be this one. I'm just waiting to pick it.
Ursa ain't a beast.
Come on. There we go. Alright, cool. Alright, I got the Ursa. I got a couple new cosmetic items as well, which I decided to pick up. So yeah, we're doing a trial in this game. I actually really like playing Ursa a lot. I think the reason I like him so much is because he can be pretty crisp and his burst damage is quite fun to play with as well. So he just has some decent decision making and he can snowball pretty easily generally, and is just really strong in the early game, which I find kind of fun to play. So normally I wouldn't recommend getting Earthshock at level 1, by the way, because usually you want to worry about bursting somebody down, but it by far is the best disable. It's actually a really good spell, I think. Might be a little underrated on the hero, but it does very little mana. 75 mana for a nuke is amazing. It's freaking amazing. The damage isn't massive at level 4, but the slow provides is fantastic. It's 4% or 4 seconds of up to 30 or 55% slow. I don't know if it does attack speed or not. Oops, I should really slow this down. I'm sorry. I forgot to do this before. I was just doing that so it could accelerate at the beginning of the game, but I'm going to go to play Dota really quick and double check to make sure, see if it does attack speed as well. If it does attack speed, it's really, really good. Now, I was communicating with the tri lane this whole time, trying to make sure that they would come gank and stuff like that. That way we could get some solo kills, so you will see that come to fruition. As you guys can see, they're coming around right now, and I know we did have sentries as well, so just put a little slow on him. Oops, I attacked a creep.
First blood.
Okay, and they did get the kill. The burrow strike was good, but if I didn't attack the creep, I would have had a little bit more out of that. Let's see. It just says movement speed slow. So just movement speed slow. So it's not as good as I thought it would be, but it's still pretty good. I have to pick up the fast poor man's shield. I think this is pretty good. He is an agility hero, so the damage block is going to be useful. He has great armor as well, so this makes him actually really hard to kill, basically. So I don't think it's that bad to do this myself. Other than that, I usually like getting really fast phase boots. I can't remember the last time I made an Ursa game. It wasn't too long ago. As you can see, his harass is doing virtually nothing. Rubik is now shifted over to be in this dual lane, but considering we already got the first blood, we have a decent advantage here. So I'll get some tangos. So yeah, I usually like really fast phase boots in lane because it helps me. His base movement speed, as you guys can see, is already really fast. 310 is quite rapid, so that means that items like phase boots or drums are going to make him run even faster because it's a higher percentage of his base than it would be for a slow hero. I see that there's some action going on, but I can't quite show up there just yet. And I do pick up Fury Swipes level 2 because it does help you do stacking damage. There's no point to get overpower really without Fury Swipes, in my opinion. So we're considering fighting here. I told them to back off because I didn't think we were going to make it. So, and they did do a telekinesis, which lifted them up anyway. So if you guys don't know how Ursa works, I don't know if I talked about the last game or not, but basically as you apply an attack to a unit, you get this bonus damage on your subsequent hit. So that means if I attack something and I attack it a second time, it takes 15 extra damage. It's kind of like Quill Spray for Bristleback, basically. Except it's based on a single target. So that means that as you attack rapidly with Overpower, you will do more and more and more damage as you hit fast. So I think this game I ended up maxing Overpower first instead of Fury Swipes. In the past, I've done just Fury Swipes and Overpower without getting an Earthshock. But since we're in a tri lane, I figured there's no point for me not to get Earthshock. I've got the mana for it. The slow is going to help us get kills, and I should pick it up to give us a bigger advantage. So I up to level up Overpower. That way I can get as many Fury Swipe stacks up as possible. I haven't done the math on this at all about which is more cost efficient or which does more damage in a short period of time. But Fury Swipes was buffed sometime in the last 6 months, I think, to be 15 at level 1 instead of 10. It used to go 10, 15, 20, 25, I think. So it's a little bit better at level 1 than it was in the past, and I opted for more Overpower. So the mana cost does go up of Overpower, though. That's important to point out. So that could be something that influences your decision in the future. So, boots, poor man's shield. I still have plenty of regen. I'm still lasting quite well. I'm going to pick up a magic stick as well, just to guarantee that I have some health burst as well as some mana regen. This maybe was a mistake because I could have just gone for really fast phase boots, and once he gets phase boots, then you don't miss last hits, and you can chase people down really, really easily. But I still think getting a magic stick on some carries in lane versus at least a dual lane is worth it. I know not all people have the same feeling about it as me, but I really like a magic stick just early on in the game. I actually have no plans to upgrade this to a magic wand, but I mean, it's 200 gold. You can sell it back for 100 later. It's a small investment that might keep you alive in the early game, and it really is a lot of survivability. I mean, you could have up to 150 heal from it. That's a lot of HP. That's equivalent to like what an ogre? No, not an ogre club, but like treads probably. About treads. It's equivalent to having treads basically in a team fight. And that also goes for mana as well. And I'm not planning to get any mana regen items for a bit. It looks like we're going to go on Rubik. I think I was telling them to go Rubik. I did get lifted here, but we were able to snag him. I only got a couple of my auto attacks in, but it was a solid stun. I was basically just kind of teaching them how to tri-lane a bit here, telling them when to shift over and stuff like that. Pretty big fade bolt here. Try to deny those creeps when you can, though. It's usually pretty good. I mean, it's one extra EXP chunk that they will never get. A replay. I pick up a Blades of Attack now. Gives me +9. A short distance until I then have the phase boots. There's a solid side pull from Mr. Bitter there. But I seem to remember that, yeah, they didn't get aggroed all the way. It's really hard to do that pull, actually. You kind of have to like keep the creeps coming back out a bit. That way they can re-aggro. That's also going to kill the range creep first. This is going to result in the wave pushing again. Slight mistake, but not that big of a deal. We're already winning the lane anyways. We've got 2 assists here. I'm not sure who has the kills. I think Mr. Bitter has one of them on the Witch Doctor. I can't remember who the other one is. Might be Lion, I suppose. Can double check this. Lion does have one with an assist. So there's last hits and denies if you guys are curious. I'm actually not even last hitting that amazingly. Blitz is doing the best by far. He's up against, who is that mid? The TA. TA is 30. And I'm at 27, so I'm not doing too bad. I'm only a couple behind. And now that I have phase boots, things are going to get really scary for them. So now I hit for about 80 damage base. And Sand King doesn't have very much armor, I believe, and Rubik as well doesn't have a whole lot of armor. So I'm actually have huge kill potential against these guys. Alright, his final skill is Enrage. This ability is really good, by the way. It costs 0 mana, so this increases your damage output, and it's based on a percentage of HP remaining. So whatever HP you have, that percentage gives you damage, and it costs no mana, so you should be using it if you're low on mana, because it just does make you hit really hard. So this basically means despite Ursa being an agility hero, you actually kind of want to get some HP items because it will increase your damage a lot more than a damage item simply will. Maybe that's not true, but you get HP and damage out of it, which is most likely going to be worth it. I haven't done the math on it, so I want to make sure that I don't make any statements like damage items aren't as good, because sometimes you do kind of need them. So if we just do the math right now, 5% of my 850 is about 42.5 damage, I think, something like that. Because 10% would be, what, 85, and then half of that is 42.5. So 42 damage that I get from using Enrage. Pretty good. That means I hit for approximately a double damage of my base, not including phase boots. Did I say that correct? Yeah, double damage of what I'm hitting for, not including my phase boots, which is kind of irrelevant, but I can still actually, I was really surprised I missed that last hit, because I was like, I'm hitting so hard right now, I've got phase boots, Fade Bolt does nothing to me, but it's actually not the case, so I'm still farming mid, and I think this is the right decision to do. I have lane dominance, I might as well max out overpower, so that I get maximum swipes in. If we do the math on swipes quick, this gives me 6 swipes, which is technically, what, 5 sources of over or fury swipes, so it's like 15, 30, and then you add that again. Oh man, I can't even do this in my head. I'd have to write it down. I don't want to do that right now. I was just going to harass on the Sand King a little bit. I really, really like getting phase boots though, because it does give you so much command. Like, I had no intention of killing him there, but I wanted to at least do some damage or harass him. And what happened? He ended up having a burrow strike out from it. And we can click on him next time he comes on the screen, but that cost him, well, look at that, most of his mana actually. He can barely afford to do a burrow strike and a sandstorm next time, just because I want to put pressure on him. And that's very important to do when you have a lane advantage like this. I mean, it's like you're just trying to make something happen. Maybe he'll make a mistake, who knows, but that would never happen if he didn't screw up, you know, or if I didn't pressure in the first place, he wouldn't have that option of screwing up, basically. So we did see the hero coming top, the Nyx Assassin from the top rune ward, so I opted to back off, play a little safe. I really wanted to go kill the Lone Druid, because I knew that Ursa in a way is pretty good against Lone Druid because he has huge physical damage output. The downside is that if you get entangled, you're gonna have a bad time. We are waiting to get a kill again. So we knew the heroes were there, and here they come on me. Actually had a lot of damage output here. And that was when I popped the wand, by the way.
Consider yourself lucky. A dead mother would have done much worse.
That was a super sick shackle from Kyle there.
You came too close.
But it was wise that I backed off. Watching it this time, I was kind of like, why did I back off there? I maybe could have made plays. There's only the Rubik left, but then I saw the TA coming. I must have seen the TA while I was playing, but I played it correctly. The sentry was down, it was still useful, so the TA came forward, and her getting shackled as well helped a lot. And my Ursa actually broke her last shield, and at that point we could just right-click her down. So that was just a huge fight. And that was at least partially because of the magic wand. I got 150 mana out of it. If you look at my mana right now, I'm actually below 150, which means that that magic stick that I picked up earlier not only gave me enough HP, maybe I didn't need the HP to survive, but the mana I did actually use to kill the TA. So I just decided to buy a Vlad's. You basically have two choices at this point. You either say, do I buy a Vlad's or do I buy a fast blink dagger? And in the past, I've gone for a fast blink dagger, but this one I opted for the fast Vlad's because I think last time I played Ursa, I got a fast blink dagger and then I didn't actually use it to get kills. So I was like, all right, screw it. This time I'm going Vlad's. The reason you generally buy Vlad's is because you do a lot of right-click damage, and you can lifesteal based on that. Those are somebody's boots, by the way, that were on the courier, so I was just communicating those. I think they were Mr. Bitter's, and he was dead, so didn't want to steal it from him. Not only the lifesteal that you get out of it, but you actually get a lot of good regen out of it. You get a lot of mana regen, which Ursa does drastically need, because Overpower as well as Earthshock cost a decent amount of mana. And also, it also helps you Roshan really, really easily. Now, like I said about the Fury Swipes, I'm sure most of you guys know how this works, but I'll explain it again because I'm sure there's a couple guys that don't understand it. But Ursa has the abilities to Roshan extremely early, more so than pretty much any hero in the entire game. The reason he does so much damage to Roshan is because he can infinitely stack Fury Swipes. And now that this is leveling up, it'll stack a lot faster. It'll stack twice as fast once I get it to level 4. And the reason this is so fantastic is because I can go to the Roshan pit, and every time I attack, he takes an extra 30 damage once it's at max level. And that means that, by the time I'm halfway through Roshan, every time I hit Roshan, he takes 500 physical damage or so, which is insane. So basically, you have to just make sure that you attack Roshan at least once every 6 seconds. So I was considering, oh, yeah, there's going to be a teamfight. Blitz said, oh, I'm dead. Again, I get stunned here. Again, my wand there saved me from mana. Bam. So I just got a crap load of kills from my TP. Triple kill from that. Huge advantage. Gotta have a TP scroll, especially as a carry. If he gets dived that far, there should be TPs, and luckily I was able to kill a bunch of them. I decided to lifesteal a little bit from the neutral. I would have loved to take Roshan right there, but my mana was completely empty, and you need at least 2 to 3 overpowers before you can Roshan effectively, so I just decided to go take the jungle a little bit before I went back to base. I maybe should have skipped the small camp and gone straight for it, but anyways, I ended up getting a lot of kills there. So I'm level 11, I have a Vlad's, I have a poor man's shield. There's very, very little way that I won't be able to take Roshan, but again, I just wanted to do the jungle a little bit. That should be giving, our supports are making some mistake if you guys look at the map. They actually pulled, and the tower was taking damage, which is a mistake. The tower should not be taking damage. Like, you do not pull when the creeps are there. You might as well take the CS in lane, but that was a mistake from them, so our tower took too much. I think I was telling them to do that now. Alright, so I'm going to go take Roshan now. I think I buy a TP scroll and a smoke, if I remember correctly. The bear actually has a relic already, which is insanely fast. I don't know what... He's got a lot of last hits. Does he have kills? He has no kills, just 1 assist. So he just has like a crap load of last hits. So I use the smoke here. I'm going to TP to the tier 2, and I want to go ninja take Roshan. The reason you generally want to use a smoke when you do this is because if they have any wards up, they'll see it. And always make sure that you cast Overpower before you get in, because you actually, it does last for a bit and it will run out soon, and you want to have that cooldown back up as fast as possible. It's kind of like using Soul Ring on Enigma before you get to the camp, because it'll get the cooldown in the future off faster. So at this point, if we click on Roshan, I don't know if I click on him or not, but if you look at how much damage I'm doing per hit, it's insanely high. And every hit, by the way, if I'm doing 500 per hit, I still lifesteal 15% of that, or 17% or whatever it is. That means I'm life stealing like 100 HP per hit. So despite his damage being really high, it doesn't matter that much. And now I buy my Blink Dagger. So Blink Dagger is finished. I've got Poor Man's Shield and a Magic Stick. I can't remember if I sell the Poor Man's or get rid of the Wand here. I wish, well, thinking about it now, I think getting rid of the Poor Man's would be better. I've already got a lot of armor from my Vlad, so the damage block isn't as needed anymore. But I can't remember which one I dropped. I did drop the Magic Stick this upon watching now, but I think that was maybe a mistake because the mana is generally going to be more useful. I should probably go gank the Lone Druid now. I think that was the best. That'd be the best thing I could do with my Blink Dagger. I think there's a lot of action going on. I have to be a little careful about my mana usage as well. Also, when you first get your Blink Dagger, try not to show that you have a blink. It's generally best to just kind of like show up and kill somebody with it, and then they're the first person to get punished. I see the Lone Druid bot, and he's so low HP, so I said, okay, screw this, I'm going to kill this guy. But unfortunately for me, he actually backed off at the exact same time. I wasn't completely sure where he went, but if we look at the map, we can look at his behavior, and he was actually really greedy going to the jungle. But I wanted to get a kill, and I wanted to sneak around in the jungle, so I was just waiting here. I wanted Kyle to push this out a bit so that we could coordinate a kill, but my time was kind of heavily wasted doing this. Really wanted, yeah, the Lone Druid's literally still in the jungle, but I didn't really have a chance to get into the jungle here with this pathing. Maybe I should have just gone through the river or something. And as soon as he killed that creep, I could move up. Alright, there we go. So now I'm entering the jungle, seemingly invisible. But I've just wasted 30 seconds. This is probably the biggest mistake that I made this game, I think. I could have sat on the Ancients, I could have sat lots of places, and Lone Druid has finally left the jungle, so I can maybe get a gank off mid. In the meantime, I figured I might as well take at least one guy in the jungle. So I use Enrage, and it does give me a lot of damage. Item build from here on out usually goes a couple different ways. Here's a TA, and they can obviously see me. Will saw that as well. They were kind of collapsing on me. It looks like they hit a ward. Maybe he didn't see me. He didn't know I was there, actually. I don't think, but I was a little worried about it, and I sat so long in the jungle that I was very afraid that bad things were going to happen to me. So I go to Ancient instead. You can Ancient very, very easily with Ursa when you get a Vlad, so make sure that you do that, because most heroes can't actually jungle it very fast. And that's actually quite a bit of farm, taking Ancients. So now I wanted to make a kill happen. Running past bot rune. Still haven't seen the Lone Druid. He's actually top now, which is not a very good place for me to gank. And I feel like I lost a lot of my advantage here. If we look at my last hits, I'm getting slightly behind, but I'm still doing pretty well. I've got 5 kills and 3 assists. I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. So again, I go to the jungle. I don't want to use overpower too much. Looks like a really dead Windrunner. Yeah, she is quite dead. Lone Druid is actually top, I think, but I wasn't paying attention to that fact. I think I can maybe see his bear now. I'm looking at the TA, but I think that was a mistake. I should have gone straight for the bear right now. The bear is pushing top. I wasn't watching, though. I seem to remember this, actually, because I remember I saw Lone Druid killed the tower, and I was like, what, Lone Druid was top? But I should have shifted there, and I should have killed him. That was a mistake as well. I was focused way more on heroes that were hard to kill, and they actually have a lot of really hard to kill heroes. Sand King is hard to kill. Nyx Assassin is hard to kill. TA is hard to kill. Lone Druid is really the target that I would want to snag, but I mean pretty much everybody on their team has a disable, and unless you have a BKB or so you coordinate your stuns with somebody else, then you're gonna have a bad time. So I think I should have spent all this time farming rather than running around trying to gank. Maybe I did get the Blink Dagger obviously at a reasonable time, but I mean there just really weren't that many good opportunities, I think, to snag kills. So I grab a dust just so that I can make sure that I can see some of these people that I initiate on. He was able to get a double kill there, at least with help from Kyle. There's the Lone Druid. He does have Radiance, actually. Radiance is actually pretty scary as an Ursa, because it's going to disable my blink. That's something that I'll have to deal with for the rest of the game. See the Sand King mid. I really wanted to go in on him. Just kind of hoping want to do as much damage to the bear as possible here. Getting entangled kind of sucks, that's for sure. See, I should have continued to go aggressive there, I think. Shields are frustrating. I did have an Aegis, by the way, so that's why I went so aggressive. Probably not the best person to target here, a TA, considering the fact that she has refraction. I really should have hit somebody else there. Messed up a lot on that team fight, I think. Could have gone on the Lone Druid, could have gone on a lot of different heroes, but I didn't go on any of the good ones.
There goes Radiant's bottom tower.
So I think that was another really big mistake. So my last like 5 minutes of gameplay was a lot of errors. I should have spent a lot more time farming instead of trying to get a gank. I mean, I can gank extremely well with an Ursa, like your damage potential is insane, but I mean, all the heroes are so hard to kill that I think it was just a waste. Should have just spent the time farming, honestly.
Dyer's mid tower could use
Is
a
Tia
little
really
help.
diving?
That's 4 in a row.
I can't hide.
Mr. Bitter didn't realize how much damage TA did. He had to play that a lot more carefully.
Where's the party?
Alright, I got my TP scroll. That Rubik is probably gonna die. Yes, he will. So I'll TP in the mid lane. I should have probably gotten a TP scroll, I think. I don't remember if anybody was streaming here. I think Blitz was streaming at this point. I had played Left 4 Dead earlier in the night. I streamed actually this day that I played. But I stopped streaming and then we ended up playing a game later. I think is what happened. So still getting last hits, lots of armor. Roshan, I can't tell if he's up or not. But I should have written down the timer just so I could get there as soon as the first one ends. And we got a Rubik on the mid lane. I really wanted to kill him. Our wards aren't very good this game. I feel like maybe we could have used some more aggressive warding, but... Alright, here comes Blitz. He's going to show up. He's got a Bloodstone. We should be able to get this kill if there's any stun at all, so... And there we go. That is one dead hero. I just spent a lot of time waiting for that, but we got it. It's going to be a glyph here.
Radiant's gone and fortified.
This is scary. If I get entangled, I'm gonna... That was a big mistake. That was not worth it at all. That was really dumb. I'm really surprised I did that, honestly. I think I was looking to buy stuff. Bought an Ogre Club because I thought I was going to die, and I did. I shouldn't have fought the bear. I was... Like, my mentality was still in a I'm extremely fed level, and I needed to change my mentality. Like, I saw the bear come up, and I was like, I'll just kill this bear, no problem. I can kill this bear. What resulted was I didn't kill the bear, and I got entangled, and then I got disabled as well. I should have been out. I shouldn't have stopped running. I should have backed immediately. Watching it now, it seemed very obvious, but while I played it, I felt I was still an aggressive mindset. Like, you get 5 kills and 3 assists, and you feel like invincible. And I couldn't play like that, so... I'm effectively throwing away my advantage at this point. And I think I was getting a BKB next. You have a couple other options as Ursa though, but I think BKB is kind of required. You need to be magic immune when you initiate. Like I said, they have tons of disables. Nyx Assassin, Sand King, Rubik can all disable me. And I need to be magic immune for when I jump in, otherwise I'm simply put not going to do anything. So I'm going for a BKB next. You can do something like a Heart. Heart is really good at this point as well too. Increases your HP by 1,000, which means that when Enrage is maxed out, that gives you what, 70 damage? Is that right? 10% is 100, so yeah, 70 damage. Gives you about 70 damage, basically. So Heart is pretty good when you use Enrage. A little bit of a fight in the jungle, but Nyx Assassin's really hard to kill. So we have a rough time. There's still fighting going on. I thought the fight was over, honestly. That's why I didn't go. I saw Blitz die and I thought we were all done rumbling, so I didn't decide to initiate. He still has that radiance, so it was quite a fast radiance on the lone druid. I think I was queuing up the BKB at this point.
Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower.
BKB. Yeah, that's the last thing I talked about. Sometimes my brain just like shuts off and I stop thinking. And that's exactly what happened. I was like literally just watching the game casually. It's like, oh yeah, that's right, I'm recording something. Maybe I should talk. Decided to try to fight him.
Radiant's mid tower's getting banged up.
5 hits, 6 hits. I'm just gonna count these for you guys. Enrage. I did it. Alright, he hit me so many times. Like, I honestly feel a little bad that he didn't entangle me here.
Fooled.
Was finally able to kill him. It took a lot of hits, though. So many creeps. Yeah, those are not getting attack speed reduction. It's just movement speed for Earthshock. I still think the spell's great, honestly. 75 mana. I don't know what the cooldown is. 6 cooldown? That's so good. Damn, dude. I think the only AoE slow that's better is maybe like Brewmaster. Brewmaster Clap's fantastic because that does attack speed as well as movement speed, but that costs a lot more than 75. That's for sure. So yeah, BKB is finished now. Got a kill on the Lone Druid. That was a pretty huge snag. He didn't entangle me, so I got a little lucky, but I think he only hit me about 5 times, which means he should have, on statistically, I mean, it's a 20% chance for entangle is how, oops, I'm sorry, my Skype is on. Sorry about that, guys. I did not realize. I thought I turned it to D&D. What was I talking about? I was talking about BKB. Oh yeah, entangle. Entangle is a 20% chance. That means statistically you're going to expect at least 1 entangle every 5 hits. It doesn't mean it will happen, but so basically he got slightly unlucky, not insanely unlucky, but he got unlucky basically. He probably should have entangled me there. Seeing some rumbling on the mid lane, so I'm going to shift over. I was really unhappy that I didn't have a lot of mana here. This is going to hurt me. I was kind of waiting for the initiation. There's the initiation. So I made the decision to do Earthshock and Blink. I couldn't do all 3 spells. I could only choose 2. And those were the 2 that I chose. Kind of want to work on the bear a bit here. I think this is maybe a mistake. I should have gone straight for the Rio one immediately. We saw the Sand King. Really wish I had more mana here. I really wanted to kill the bear. I think this is another mistake. Again, I went for the bear, and I probably should have gone for different heroes. I was like super sick from Mr. Bitter. He showed up at the perfect time. So again, I targeted the bear. Definitely the number one thing that I learned from this game, don't target the bear. I targeted the bear like every time. Just not worth it. If it's a real team fight, my damage is not nearly high enough. Like you're so used to Ursa being like a steamroller, but he's not. His damage isn't high enough to kill the bear. I think I could have been hitting heroes. Now, obviously, having more mana would have helped a lot, but kind of had to pop the BKB to try to stay alive. On the bright side, we killed 3 heroes for me. So plus more. Nyx Assassin died when I first initiated. We killed Rubik. We actually got a lot of hero kills out of that. So I think it was overall a pretty good fight. Oh yeah, I'm on the wrong person. Oh wait, no, that's right. I was clicking on people. So my last hits are actually higher than anybody else's. Let's look at like my GPM. My GPM is really high. My where's my net worth? Net worth is not quite as high as the Lone Druid's. Does he have a Midas? I'm not sure. I don't think he has a Midas. His net worth is a lot higher than us though. It's about my GPM being quite up there. I'm not sure what's up with that. Maybe, oh, he must have items on the courier or something. That must be it, right? BKB is pretty great Ursa item though. I mean, it increases your Enrage damage by like, what, 15 or something? And it gives you plus 19 or 24 for the club. All around pretty good item for him. Hard obviously gives you a lot more survivability, but considering the disables they're working with, I never really felt like I never really felt immune enough with BKB on, but that's mostly because of Entangle. Entangle is something you're always gonna have to worry about as an Ursa, and the slow it applies is actually pretty annoying as well. Gotta be really careful spending mana in the jungle. Even watching myself now, I feel like it's maybe a mistake. Honestly, if I would have had my magic stick instead of my poor man's shield at this, like in that last fight, I can almost guarantee you that I would have had enough mana. That's probably another big mistake that I made. I'll probably end up selling the poor man's shield pretty fast in the future. I think that would have helped a lot. If I had the magic stick guaranteed, I would have had enough for another overcharge or Earthshock or something like that. Decision making aside, I think my build is not ideal. Damage is pretty good at the moment on Roshan. Just selling the poor man's really quick.
No breaking through the
Alright, Alright, so I got the Aegis. I'm going to be ready to fight again. My mana's a little low, but we should be able to rumble, especially with my Aegis.
Best do something about that bottom. The Dire gave up the bottom tower.
BKB, gotta kill the bear.
Two down. Two down.
Man, I'm hitting really hard right here. So that was a really good team fight from us. I targeted the correct person going straight on the Lone Druid himself while he got disabled. I don't know who disabled him, but he was stunned when I got my first burst in, and I was able to kill him all the way. What are his items? I think he has a chainmail on his person, I believe, which is a pretty good choice. No, he actually does not, just a cloak. I think his chainmail, that's right, his chainmail is for his bear. So he actually needs some kind of armor item for him to be more survivable against me. But I had Aegis anyway, so jumping in like that was really not that big of a deal. Got quite a few kills. I'm the highest level. We can look at the graphs as well. We should be quite a ways ahead, I think. Yeah, it's a pretty good gold advantage, and EXP is insanely in our favor. I hope I left those up long enough for you guys to see.
Pretty sight right now.
Woohoo!
Radiant lost
Sick
one of
last
their
hits.
bottom towers.
Mana's still kind of low. Again, Vlad's is usually not quite enough mana regen.
Here I am.
Might as well do some Rax damage here.
Have fun trying to
The
bust
glyph was a
down
little
radiant
late,
structures
just a bit.
now.
Looks like we might be fighting. Maybe I should use my BKB a lot earlier there. I think that was a pretty big mistake. Man, I'm changing targets way too much this fight. Why did I mess up this fight? I played really bad this fight, honestly. God, that does so much damage. The mana drain is insane. So yeah, I messed up a lot that fight. Again, I kept targeting heroes that were hard to kill, which was not the right decision. Opted to just TP out. And I think at this point I decided to get a basher, because I was having trouble killing people. Part of the problem is that, like I said, I'm targeting the wrong heroes, but getting a basher does help in a couple ways. Damage, plus damage is really good for Ursa. It gives you 6 strength, which means more HP and more enrage damage. This in fact does like, it's like about 6 strength is about 100 HP. It's 120 HP, so that gives me like another, what, 7-8 damage, something like that,
Radiant's top towers
from
taking
Enrage.
hits.
And the bash is really good because you attack so fast that you have more chances to bash in a short period of time. So I'm going to stack up the Ancients here and you guys will essentially see. I think I opted to go Abyssal Blade this game. I talked to Blitz about this the other day after the fact, and we kind of decided, we kind of agreed that Ursa kind of needs a lot of items to be effective. And because he's very, very good in the mid game, but, or sorry, the early game, but in the mid game he kind of peaks off because everybody has enough stuns to deal with him. And people have things like Ghost Scepters and Force Staffs and stuff like that. So like to play Ursa effectively, you need a Blink to initiate, pretty much guaranteed. You need a BKB because once you initiate, you need to be magic immune so you can auto attack and not get stopped. And then from there, you either need a Heart to be really tanky, or you need a Basher. The problem is that the Basher helps you disable and chase them, but then you don't have as much HP, and it's like all of a sudden you run into all these problems. Like I've got Vlad's, I've got my boots, I've got a BKB, I've got a Blink, and now I have to get all these other items that cost a lot of money. And even though I'm super farmed, I don't have like a super one-sided option
Radiant's top tower
to stomp in a
bad
way,
shape.
which is fair. The hero should be balanced around that. I'm gonna try to see if I can save him here. Give me the bash. Give me the bash. Give me the bash. Give me the bash. No bashes. I was really pissed about that. Though that was what, 3 hits after his TP, and I didn't get a bash, which is completely fair. Any more than 4, and I should have been upset. But I was just a little unlucky there. If I bashed him, though, I would have killed. Excuse me. Am I gonna sneeze again? Yep. Okay. Whoa. Oh, 3rd time? Oh, wow, that was close. That was really close. Wow. I wish I went to the Ancients right there instead of going jungle. I think that would have been the right choice. Actually, I don't like small campus Ursa that much because I think he's better against big targets. Can kill them a little bit more efficiently, in my opinion. Bit of a ball lining down to find somebody. I almost saw the TA there, but I didn't see her. Again, I'm just using Enrage to kill because I don't want to waste mana. Because I know that running out of mana is usually a big problem with this hero. They're kind of pressuring the bot tower, so I think instead I'm just going to pressure mid a bit. Take some Radiance Burn here. They actually do have a ward on the high ground, which I can see now, but I did not know about at the time. He has an AC now in his bear, which means his bear is essentially not unkillable from my perspective, but really, really hard to kill. It's not something that I should probably do. Attempt at least. And again, a lot of people pushing bottom. At this point, I kind of wanted to split push because I felt pretty strong. I've got BKB and a blink, so if I get caught, I generally am going to be okay. The only thing I have to worry about is Radiance Burn from the bear. So, a little bit of split push here. I thought I blinked that in time, but I must have messed it up. I was a second too late. That trap hit me and I thought I was dead, to be honest. I think they backed off because my team was pushing in bot. Pretty sure. But we essentially just split pushed.
Radiant's bottom tower's done for.
Lone Druid buys a Skull Basher, good choice against me. Because it's going to work through my BKB. It's going to give him a lot of options against me, basically. That bear was really fast. Like, really fast. Alright, I got my Abyssal Blade now. So, the reason I want Abyssal Blade, it increases my damage by quite a bit. Number one. Man, I haven't seen that courier in forever. Increases my damage by quite a lot, and also gives me a set disable, so whoever I initiate on, I can choose to stun them. It is going to cost me some more mana, unfortunately, but it does give me a lot more right click. Looks like we will be killing the bear here. You got a BKB against a Nyx if you want to kill him. What was I doing? Oh, I was trying to use the...
might want to mine the top tower.
I was not able to kill her. Again, I kind of wasted my initiation. I really think that going out against the TA, or after the TA, is a mistake for me. I had to back up at this point, I think. I maybe could have fought with him and helped him, but I decided to back because my mana and HP were pretty low. Might have been a mistake. We'll see. Looks like he did end up living, so I didn't feel too bad after that point. Kind of a weird fight. Again, I really should stop hitting the TA. Unless I have like a Radiance or something, it's not worth my time. It's so hard to break down her shields. Like, every single hit of mine does so much damage. And yeah, sure, once her shield was down, I was hitting for 300 per hit, but I mean, it took my entire burst just to get to that point, so... It was maybe too early to use the Abyssal Blade as well. I maybe should just auto-attacked a couple times first. The main reason I hesitated, I think, is because my hotkey was on the mouse hotkey instead of the... I don't like my mouse hotkeys anymore. I used to use them almost exclusively, but I love the 4, 5, and spacebars. I might have to mess around with my hotkeys a bit, because I want more nice keyboard ones. I think I blocked that one somehow. Not really sure. At this point, I'm just kind of farming. Maybe I should go back to heal to get mana. I'm wondering. Could maybe blame our allies for not using arcanes very well. I don't know how many arcanes we have. No arcanes on Lion, and Witch Doctor does have an arcane. I should be actually grouping towards our allies at the moment. They are grouping up to push, and I think I was looking at that, but I'm usually pretty greedy about farming camps in between team fights. So I should probably be there. Like right now. I should have left after that medium camp. Because I could be in this fight within like 5 seconds, but now I've got an extra 5 to 10 seconds on it. He got a Ghost Scepter, so I decided to kill the bear. Again, not really that worth it.
Top tower's in bad shape.
I unfortunately used my Abyssal Blade when he hexed.
That's 4 in a row.
And that got us all killed.
You blew it! Here I am! This is exciting.
Somebody's on a
He keeps forgetting to wand. Initiation was okay. He has a butterfly now on the TA, by the way, and I just first realized now. It's part of the reason I'm having trouble killing him, I'm sure. Because if I miss, then I don't apply Fury Swipes. I think my initiation was okay. The Ghost Scepter saved the Rubik, which made a lot of problems. This is the area where Ursa has trouble. And I also wasted my Abyssal Blade big time, because there was a Hex on, I think, the TA. He got Hexed and I Abyssal at the same time. Just, that's a stun stack, and especially when you're limited on stuns, you just cannot do that. It was a moderately large mistake for me. And as soon as my BKB ran out, the Epicenter came, and that bursted me down all the way. So I'm kind of in this weird gray area where, I mean, if I was at that fight 5 seconds earlier, I think it would have been way better for us. But that was part of the problem as well. Alright, since I'm dead, we'll speed this up just a little bit here. The bear's so fast. Alright, back to the wave. Everything is looking okay.
6 in a row.
Another dead next assassin. That's why the Orchid becomes really useful, because you can silence him before he gets his spiked carapace off. I'm also kind of missing attack speed at this point, by the way. My damage is really good, but my attack speed needs to be higher. Do you know Roshan is up, I think. Or at least I'm going to check to see if he is. And he is. And they will see this. Give me the bash. What, did he use Hex to do that? I hope not. I needed to use Abyssal there so bad.
8 in a row. 2 down. 9 in a row. 3 down. That's 4 in a row.
We almost got him killed there.
Undefended.
I was a little too aggressive. I went man mode all the way. I don't know if I was missing hits or just not life stealing enough, but they're gonna be able to finish the Roshan quite easily here. But I'm dead. We still won a team fight. We got four dead heroes. The next assassin was dead before the fight started, so they were a little silly to fight that. If I would use the Abyssal Blade on the Lone Druid, might have saved a lot more time. Actually, looking back on the fight, I mean, it's a 60-second cooldown on Abyssal, by the way. It's a huge cooldown. You can't use it that often. Maybe it wasn't that worth it. I mean, I used the Abyssal to stun the TA later, and we did end up killing her, so maybe that was the correct timing. I'm not completely sure. What I should have done, guaranteed, is walked away from the TA as we were killing her, and I was low HP. I didn't need to try to man it out. I just thought that I could get the kill. So, regardless, you learn something every time you man up. You're like, okay, well, was that actually worth it? You guys see that Hut die? Hut's super dead.
Mid tower's getting the what for?
They just kill our ward? Yeah, they did. Good sentry usage there.
Top tower, you know the drill. Dire's top tower, you know the drill.
That wave top. I don't think I noticed how low the HP was.
Dire's top tower.
I should have glyphed that, because I could have denied it.
Top tower.
Probably would have been worth the glyph, I think. My damage is really high now. Looks like Will just picked off a Sanking. That's pretty good. So at this point, I actually don't remember what I bought. Plate mail? Oh yeah, that's right. I remember now. I think I was getting an AC. I was a little unhappy with my survivability, and I wanted more attack speed. The reason attack speed is so important, attack speed doesn't do anything to you when you use overpower, but once overpower ends, you have absolutely crap attack speed. So it's pretty important to get attack speed later. And AC was my way to do it. It also gives me, what, 15 extra armor, and counteracts the -5 armor aura that the bear is going to be applying, so it helps quite a bit. I'm now hitting for like 450, 60 damage, which is fantastic. See if Storm Spirit makes it. Okay, he's gonna live. Plate mail. I got the plate mail first because that was going to do the most for a single item. I thought it would have been nice to have a hyperstone as well, but honestly, the 10 extra armor makes me very, very tanky compared to what I was previous. I see the Helm of the Dominator on the TA, as well as the Butterfly. I like her items are very survivable, but she's not going to carry with them, so I wasn't too worried at this point.
Think I lost count.
And I just needed a short 1,000 gold, and I have the AC. In the meantime, Blitz is completely putting pressure on them. If you look at the map, they think that we're pushing in because they're basically worried about the Storm Spirit getting kills off. So I knew that this gives us a lot of time to farm. And if you look at all of our heroes, we're farming all over the map. So this means that our gold graph should be going up right now. Mr. Bitter's way too far forward there on the bot lane. But yeah, as you guys can see, the gold graph is continuing. I'm just going to stack this up again. I'll keep EXP up for just a bit. Huge EXP advantage for us. As you guys can see, most of us are pretty close. Yeah, he does end up dying there. I don't think that stack worked, actually. Do a lot of damage right now. Stole my gold. Especially when I'm this close to AC, that was frustrating. It's actually okay for him to steal EXP at this point, though, because I'm already level 25, so it doesn't matter. And, yep, 200 gold away from the AC.
Swiftly through forest shade.
He looks to be in trouble a bit.
Somebody's on a roll.
Yeah, he was surrounded by dudes. His Bloodstone just respawned him, though. The power of Bloodstone. Decided to send the courier back to get the AC finished. Saw the DD, I was happy. Alright, so now I have a set of armor. Plus 15 armor. The armor aura does not stack with the Vlad's, by the way, so technically I only get 10 armor out of it instead of 15. Important to remember. But now my attack speed's great. Look at that. Look at that. So much faster. Their team is still playing really, really scared. What they should probably do is get some wards out. Actually, it looks like they might have some wards. Looks like I ran right over the DD. Got bashed just then. I think I went a little too hard. Although I did take a lot of focus off of the team. I think that's quite important to point out. I mean, by diving that hard, the entire enemy team focused me, despite me having a BKB up, and I think that went a long ways towards winning us the fight.
Radiant's mid tower's coming apart.
Let the fun begin.
Radiant structures must have been fortified.
A little bit of stun stacking going on.
Over here now.
5 in a row. Get a load of Radiant's bottom racks.
With so many disables to kill him.
Radiant's bottom
Hexes work really, really well against evasion, by the way. They do remove evasion.
Radiant's bottom
Typical
racks.
evasion from Butterfly, stuff like that. Or PA, for example.
Radiant's mid tower could use a hand.
Yeah, we should be able to take mid-racks from this, finally.
Radiant's mid tower.
Game was quite long.
Radiant's mid racks taking some punishment.
Where's the party?
There goes the Radiant's mid racks.
Bullseye.
Radiant's mid racks ain't
Was I alive?
Radiant's
Oh, no, I'm still dead.
mid-racks didn't make it.
Yeah, they were watching the stream. Greytorp stole mid from us. One game that we played. We lost. Not surprisingly.
Touche.
It doesn't look so good for Windrunner. Oh yeah, I blinked in the trees. I forgot about that.
Whoa, what'd I miss?
6 in a row.
Come on, blink.
Coming.
Spirit, away!
He respawned again. Man, that guy's hard to kill.
Somebody's
Does he have a
cooking.
Boots of Travel or something? He might. So I get there at the perfect time when everybody's dead. It helps so much, guys. Let's look at a real hero stat that you guys probably care about. GPM, KDA.
Mysteries denied.
We killed her.
Radiant's top rag ain't gonna last long. The Radiant's top rag.
From here on out, next item, maybe a heart or MKB. Probably one of those items. I could also butterfly, actually, or a manta or something.
Towers getting back.
Not quite sure. I could do heart and then drop the Vlads, actually. That'd probably be worth it. Because the Vlads doesn't give me that much anymore. The lifesteal's not really needed.
Looking bright for Radiant's ancient.
Heart would have given me way more damage. It would have given me enough regen. I think that would have been the best option after that. So that is the Ursa. I like playing him as a hard carry. Ugh. Make sure you go follow everybody on Twitter that I played with here. I'm going to put them in the drop-down box. Drop-down box below is what I meant to say. Not blocks. I played with Greytorp, Mr. Bitter, both StarCraft 2 casters. Pretty cool dudes. And Blitz, of course. So I dropped this anti-mage shoulder thing. Pretty sick stuff. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I think I'm going to stream today. I might be a bit before I get that up, but I'm going to have to make sure this VOD is up first, of course. But thanks everyone for tuning in. I appreciate it. You can follow me on Twitter, of course, at Purge Gamers. If you guys have any Dota questions, that's probably the best place to ask me. I answer almost all of them, if they're good. Usually they're very good. Most Twitter questions I get are great. And thanks everyone for tuning in. I will see you guys later. Goodbye.